Hey, welcome to week 4. You've made it to week 4. How about that? Time is flying by. I hope it is. Hey, Brother Peterson, and this is Medical Law and Ethics, week 4. And I hope you're doing awesome. You've made it through a fairly significantly hard section, okay? Learning how to Iraq a case, okay? And so you've really done quite well. Week 4, however, is going to test you. Okay, it's one of the more difficult weeks, and so you're really going to need to buckle down and tackle this one. Okay, so don't put things off. And there's a fair amount of things that are going to be due. All right, you have 2 quizzes, plus you have some posts and discussion board and some assignments. So once again, don't put things off. Okay. All right. So start off with, I want to talk just a little bit about Iraq. All right. We've already done 1 week. You worked out the kinks. You got, some of you are doing quite well. Some of you need some improvement. But you're starting to figure out what it means to Iraq a case. So I just want to dive a little bit more into why this is important. So this week you're going to learn a little bit more about some of the laws that impact the medical world and understand negligence and so forth. The key in looking at cases, as you read these cases, is to be able to know how the judge or how the attorneys who are arguing the case, and particularly the judges that may be deciding the cases, how they're thinking. How do they look at these, and how do they analyze the issue that's involved in the case? Well, they first need to identify issues, and that's why you start off with issue, as in Iraq. Okay, you need to identify the issue. What is the issue, or it could be multiple issues, the court is looking at in addressing the case. Most of the cases that you look at, in fact, I think all of them, are appellate cases. What that means is they're looking at issues of law that was identified by the attorneys, by the appellant, the one appealing the case, as issues that need to be addressed because they disagree with how the lower court or the trial court handled it. Okay? So they're looking at these issues. The court has to identify the issues. The second thing is they need to identify the law or the rules that are applied to those issues. Okay? And the reason the rule or the law is important, whether or not it's a statute, whether or not it's a different another case, usually statutes when we're dealing with these cases, is because that is what's going to govern how they're going to analyze the case. Okay? So you have issue, rule, and then analyzation or analyzing the case. Okay, that's the Iraq, the A in there. So that's going to be important to be able to apply the rule that you've identified to the issues and how they are going to address those issues with the rules that are out there. And then you're going to have conclusions. And these conclusions are going to be kind of the summation of this analysis as they applied the rule in addressing these issues and the facts and so forth. Okay? It takes some practice, but I think you're going to be able to get it. Okay? And it's important because it is a method you can use in identifying other situations or issues that may be coming up in other scenarios, like your work or of course in even reading the newspaper, or a court case. And I don't know how many of you are going to be looking at court cases in your career, but you may be surprised. All right, even those that aren't lawyers sometimes have to look at some cases. All right, so as I said before, you're going to have to turn in some stuff. You have 2 reading quizzes, and you have some additional reading, Common Sense by Thomas Paine, interesting stuff. And then you're going to dive into some cases and Iraqing some cases. So don't put things off. Like I said, you can do it real quickly. Just was out in Utah last week, and actually 2 weeks ago, and we're driving my son's car back out here to Maryland, and as we were driving through the Midwest, I was reminded of this right here. Now, we didn't get a chance to go there, but been there a couple times. What is that? Okay, shoot me an email. Tell me what this is and why it's important. And tell me if you've been either through it or even just seen it. Okay? All right? If you can tell me what it is, you get a bonus point. I don't know what it is. I don't have any bonus points to give at this point, but I'll definitely give you that a boy or attaboy, okay? All right. Hey, BYU Idaho is awesome. You're awesome. Learning is awesome. Keep up the good work. Talk to you later. Bye.